Hey everyone, good morning. I'm doing my next section of my John Maxwell. I didn't do it yesterday or play my piano because I had so many other things to do. But I read the next chapter in the book and it's basically on remembering names. So people like it when you remember their names, especially if they're on your team. It shows that you care about them. It shows that you remember who they are. And for some of us, remembering names is not easy. So what I do is I write their names down. Now it's different if you're in a job where you can't keep a pen and paper with you, but I try to ask them questions about themselves that will help me to associate their name with that memory that they have or something that they like to do. The other strategy that John recommends in this book is repeating their name 3 times, because if you repeat it 3 times in the conversation, it will help you to remember their name going forward. And also, if you find out things about them, like if you find out their favorite movie or their favorite color or something that's unique to them, that will help you to remember who they are. Because when you're working with a team of people, if you're just going around saying, hey, I mean, it's not going to really help the people on your team. If you remember their name and you call them by name, then that helps the people on your team. And it's important, there's a lot of meaning in a name, there's a lot of feeling in a name. So it's important to remember people's names. I'm awful when it comes to remembering people's names. Sometimes it takes me a few times to remember the person's names. And sometimes, especially now with menopause, I get brain fog. So I'm very fortunate because I had a very good doctor. So I didn't have to take any hormone replacement therapy or anything like that. I basically adjusted things with my food. So I eat more protein. I eat a lot more bran, things like that. And I'm fortunate that way. There are tablets out there. There are things out there that you can take. There are doctors even who specialize in it, because with menopause, a lot of women put on belly fat weight. And so maybe this is partly related to that and partly related to stress, because I just can't seem to lose the weight, even with my strength training, with exercising, with cutting back on calories. So hopefully with the blood pressure tablets I'm taking, my blood pressure comes down and stabilizes, and then my heart will stabilize as well. Because with menopause, you do get a lot of fat accumulation, and then that starts to affect your liver, it starts to affect different organs in your bodies, your kidneys. And I'm not somebody who has just sat back and not been proactive. I've always been somebody who's active, who exercises. I use the gym equipment. I swim in the summertime. So it's not like I brought this on myself. So I just have to hope and pray that as I keep up the activity and I keep up a healthy way of living, things will stabilize for me. And a big part of it is not having work or being in low-paid work, being under financial stress all the time. That is a big part of it for me. And my doctor knows that. And my old doctor knew it as well, because it plays a big factor into your mental health, your emotional health, when you're unemployed or you have low wages. You can have mood swings with menopause. You can have different things that come up for you. So I shared that course because a lot of women don't have access to a good doctor, or they don't have a doctor like mine who will kind of work with you and educate you and help you to understand your body. Because Dr. Ng was very good that way, and he was very thorough. And my new doctor is also very good, and he also sent me links, he sent me things to read up on. I've been doing all these things already, so I really don't know why it is that I can't lose the weight. Obviously, I can't eat calories that are below what's going to help my body maintain muscle. So I have to keep it above a certain level. But it's very strange. Anyway, I hope that things will stabilize. And it's the same with me. If I go to people's places and they just leave me sitting there and they go upstairs or they do whatever they're doing and they put a movie on, it's like, well, why should I come and visit you? Because you're not interested in me. Or if I come to visit you and you want to talk about other people, why should I come and visit you? Because you're not interested in me. You're interested in telling me about other people or asking me about other people or getting upset because other people didn't call you or contact you, or other people have problems in their lives that are upsetting you, so you want to discuss it with me. It's like you need to remember when somebody's there with you, focus on that person, talk to that person, find out about that person. And that's something that John Maxwell recommends. It's not something that I had to be taught, but it's a good thing to remember. Talk about them. Use their name in conversation. Find out about their lives. They're not coming to visit you to find out how upset you are that somebody didn't arrange a party for you that they promised, or that you didn't get to see this person. Well, that person is in front of you. They made the effort to come and visit you, to spend time with you, to be there with you, and you're not interested. So why would I or anybody come back to see you? They wouldn't. If they're giving up their time, they're traveling long distances, going through borders, going through whatever, to come and see you, to come and spend time with you, sacrificing their time, and you're not interested in them. Do you think they're going to come back? They're not. It's the same with your meetings. If you have a meeting with a client or you have a meeting with somebody, talk to that client about what you want to do with them, what's interesting to them, what's important to them. Don't talk to that client about, oh, I have this other client and they're doing this and they're doing. They're like, why would I come back here? So the same things that you use in personal life, you develop and you use in your business life. And that's the way it is. So it's important to remember people's names. And you can also do things like, if they tell you like they like a famous person or a famous personality, you can associate that with that person. And when you think of that person, you can remember that person. That's another way to do it. It's also recommended in here. And so it's a short chapter, but it's a good chapter to read on remembering names. And if you forget a name, don't worry. I've forgotten names many, many times. Most people don't get upset about it. And just ask them again, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I know you've told me many times, but can you just repeat it for me one more time? And also when I do cold calls, or when I used to, for my business, I had a insurance business that I used to do, which had started in America, Primerica. I keep a pen and paper with me so that if people are mentioning names, I can jot them down. And it's something that they teach in Primerica too. That when you're going out, you're doing your sales calls, have a piece of paper with you. So they're talking to you, you can ask them, what's your name? What's your brothers and sisters' names? What's your mother's name? Who do you know that might be interested in the business? And that's how they do it. When you meet people, that's how we do it. That's how we build the relationships. Because we're interested in finding out about people, finding out about their teams, finding out about what might be of interest to them. And part of that is knowing their name and understanding them. Because they are your client, they are the team member, they are the ones who are bringing in your connections. And you get warm leads that way. That's how Primerica is built. Because people will say, I know somebody who might be interested in this. I can refer them to you. That's what happens like in the church. Because I was looking for work, and the person that was running Primerica, Richard Knock, he told me, I have an opportunity. I didn't understand that it was a business, not a paid waged employment. So I left it because I told him I didn't know this was a business. I didn't know that I would have to go out and cold call and set up meetings, and it's the same with Shopify. I had somebody I worked with at TD, Mary Wu. She came to visit me because she started her Shopify business and she's done very well with it. So she wanted to see if I was interested. And I said to her, you know what, I've done Primerica and it didn't work for me because you need a car, you need to be able to be comfortable going into people's homes, talking to them, and I'm on my own. So if you're doing it as a couple or you're doing it as a team, it's different. But if you're a woman on your own, going into people's homes, going into people's houses, I'm not comfortable with that. I told her I want a job where I go into the office, I do my work, and that's what I'm looking for. So it really depends also on your personality, and some people do very well with it, others don't. With the speaking, I do it because when I do get speaking engagements, it's not to go into people's homes. It's to go into their businesses, it's to go to events, it's to go to speak to the politicians, it's to speak to schools. That's why I do it, because I'm not going into somebody's home. I've also had colleges, like the other Christian colleges, have contacted me for fundraising. But again, they want me to go into people's homes and they want me to talk to them and get legacy donations. And I said to them, I'm not comfortable because I've done Primerica. I know how it worked for me. I know how it didn't work for me. So I don't want to go into people's homes. So you have to know, because sometimes when they advertise the jobs, the colleges, the religious institutions, they don't state on there that they want you to go into people's homes. They only tell you that when they interview you. And that's part of their name, it's part of their branding. But I'm not comfortable with that. That's why I've always wanted an office job where I can go in, do my work, and come home. Because I don't like mixing the business and the personal. I don't like people coming into my home to do business. So that's one of the things we have to define in terms of our names. What is it that we want people to remember us for? What is it that people want us to be associated with, or what do we want them to remember about us being associated with? And it's important when we're building up our names, we're building up our reputations, especially if you're coming into a country and you're new and you're like me and you don't know anything. You try different things to see whether you're going to like it, whether it's going to work, whether it's not going to work for you. That's the only way you find out. So I'm glad I did the Primerica. I was very good at it, but it wasn't for me. And I wasn't comfortable with what I had to do to go into people's homes. And sometimes you have to travel long distances because similar to like now they have all these political meetings taking place before the election. They have them very far away. So for me, I would have to take 2 or 3 buses to get there and then 2 or 3 buses to get back. So I told them I can't come. If there's a carpool or you know somebody reliable and trustworthy, then please include me and I can join in that way. So when it comes to our names, we also have to let people know what we want to be known for and what we would like to have associated with our name. And I did that with the Liberals too, not just with NDP or Conservatives. I did it with all of them. That's why when the Prime Minister came, when they had their rally and they organized a bus, then they let me know, then I went. But that's how I do it. I'm good at taking care of myself and taking care of others. And especially now with menopause, it's a big adjustment to see how in 1 year my body has accumulated fat in areas where I would never expect it, because I was swimming every day. When I'm not swimming, I'm walking, if not every day, at least 2 or 3 times a week. I do aerobic exercise, I eat healthy. So I guess that's part of aging as well. But it's too much weight. And I'm hoping that now that I've incorporated some new teas and some different ways of eating, I'm hoping that will help me to reduce the weight. But that's all I can do. If it doesn't work, then, people take all these diet drinks and all that. Maybe I'll have to try that. But I'll see how it goes. So that's how I would like people to remember me, to remember my name, and to remember that I do everything I can to stay healthy, to stay fit. I'm a big Elvis Presley fan. I do enjoy Canada, but like a lot of people, I'm disappointed with how things have gone for me. Too much contract work, not enough support, not enough benefits. But I don't sit back and say, oh well, it's never going to work out. I do everything to educate myself, to build ties. I join in online courses. I do everything I can so that I can be ready if and when that opportunity does come up. So that's on your name and on building your relationships with people and remembering people's names. They're simple strategies, but they are strategies that we can apply on our teams and in our workplaces.